Welcome back. Today I want to talk about Kundalini. When it comes up, when it's too much. I have an email about this and I want to talk about what is the best program for re-establishing balance. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to find our balance with this something new. And sometimes we stir it up unnecessarily and we want to avoid that. We want to keep our balance, get the very best elements of the consciousness rising, and avoid unnecessary stimulation and imbalance of the energy. So let's get into it. Dear Forrest, I'm from another lineage and lived in an ashram community in Assisi for 2 years. I took the first Kriya in 2009 and I'm now 37 years old. Since 2011, I have painful Kundalini awakenings, which have progressively become less painful. At the beginning, it was so painful I thought someone was doing some black magic to me. Sometimes it occurs once in a year and sometimes more often. But a few days ago, I had one that lasted for almost 2 days, being incapable of sleeping properly. When it happens, I feel very restless and nervous inside, especially in my heart. Also, sometimes with anger, with a big pressure along my spinal cord. Now I'm afraid to meditate or pray because the Kundalini activates itself again easily and everything starts again. I've tried to inform myself and look for answers almost everywhere, but I haven't found a proper solution or explanation to this Kundalini awakening problem. I think that should say, now I am working, but I could be fired from my job without being able to explain what my problem is if I suffer from one of these Kundalini awakenings in the middle of my job. And also my family and my psychiatrist could think I'm in a psychotic event, and I could even be taken to the psychiatric hospital if I tell them about it. Can you help? Wow, right? This is what I'm talking about. On a regular basis, I get this kind of email. And so when I hear people say, just shoot the energy straight up through your brain, just shoot the energy straight up through your brain, or push through into the Sushumna, just push your way into meditation, I'm thinking, no, no, don't do that. These are the kind of problems that will arise from a practice which is pushing, 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 pushing. It is not worth it to your life, and it's absolutely unnecessary to gain the things that you are looking for in meditation. The people that have told you you have to push in this way are misguided. It is not necessary. There's a much better way, and it comes from the philosophy of my guru Ashokji. Clean it out, clean it out, clean it out, clean it out, clean it out. That's all you do. You don't push, you don't pull, you don't yank, you don't contrive, you don't use your left brain, you don't use the sympathetic system. You get it out of the way momentarily, and then the energy and the consciousness rise back to the brain. It's not a pushing, it's a falling. You're not. It seems like I'm rising, and I talk about it that way, right? We're rising back to the brain, but it's not. It is a falling, and that's why the Bhagavad Gita says that your spine is an upside-down tree, that the roots are here in the brain, and the limbs are down below. And it's telling you this for a reason, because when that consciousness comes back home, it's not really rising, it's actually falling back from whence it came. So all you had to do was get out of the way. That's it. You didn't have to push or pry or pull or yank or any of that, because that will lead to problems. So what is my Kundalini solution? What is my program when you have a Kundalini problem? First of all, ground. Ground, 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 ground. What does that mean? I have an old video on grounding, and that's a Qigong exercise, okay? And you're learning to ground. And when you're on a spiritual path, you're going to say to me, but Forrest, I'm trying to go up. Why are you telling me to go down? Because in a Kundalini experience, you are massively out of balance and you have to reestablish that heaven and earth, we need both. You need your left brain, you need your right brain, you need your upper nervous system, and you need your lower nervous system. They are there for a reason. If you didn't need them, they wouldn't be there. But they are there because you actually need them. And so you've got to find your place in between them. I'm going to be on earth, but of heaven, right? I want both of those in my life. I want to function naturally. I want to drive my car to the store. That's easy enough, right? I want that in my life. I'm not going to stay in a cave for the rest of my life. I'm going to drive my car. Therefore, I need the earth and I want the heaven. And it's yours. You can have it. You just got to get out of the way. You don't have to push. You don't have to pry. You don't have to pull. You don't have to yank. So first of all, learn how to ground yourself. The grounding exercise is really simple. You just want to breathe in and then begin to feel the earth. So go back, watch that video, and in just a moment I'll tell you another way to ground. Number 2, learn to flow. Flow, flow, flow. Flow in your life. Flow in your meditations. Don't push, don't yank, don't force. Flow when it feels like 5, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes is good for you. That's it. Stop there. Flow with that. Learn to love yourself and to love where you are at. And so accept where you are at and don't force yourself to be more than what you are at this moment. You just flow with that a little bit. We want to grow. We want to grow. We want to grow. But we want to flow with that grow. If you push, you're in the wrong system. We just messed up. Now we're in the sympathetic. Now we're in the left brain. I'm pushing. Oh, we totally messed up because I'm trying to grow in the parasympathetic. I want to grow a little bit at the time. And that requires that we flow with our practice, that it's easy, that it's natural, that it comes out of our hearts because we actually love it. That is the flow. So you got to begin a little bit of that flow in your life. When things come at you in your life, flow with them, right? When ups and downs come in your life, in your heart, in your mind, you just flow with it. When the world is up, when the world is down, begin to flow with it just a little bit. Just a little bit. And it becomes more and more magical. And that is the process of the parasympathetic. It flows where the left brain and the sympathetic system, they fight. And we need some fight in our life. We need some of that activation, but not continuously. And that's the flow. We've got to flow with all of our nervous system. So a little bit of that flow will help everything because we want the energy in the body to flow through the body. So some Mahamudra stretching is very advised because this will help all of the flow through the body, right? So ground yourself, flow, and stop pushing. Stop pushing in your meditations. Try to stop pushing so much in your life. Let go. Embrace the flow. Let go of your fear. Do some Navi. So some Mahamudra, some Navi, and some free-flowing Om Japa in the chakras. You don't have to do it with your breath. Sometimes you can't go back to your breath because it brings you so close into stillness that it brings up everything which is coming into your subconscious, which is the Kundalini awakening is happening through your subconscious. So you lower your idle state. It puts you directly in contact with that. And sometimes you just can't do that just yet, right? Sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. So you got to flow with that a little bit. So if you can do the resonant breathing, by all means, do the resonant breathing. But if you can't, just do a free flow Om Japa in the chakras practice. What does that mean? It means you don't have to do it with your breath, and you just wander around all 6 of your chakras, from the coccyx to the medulla. You just wander around and Om into them. Just a free flowing, easy practice. I feel like I want to Om into my heart. I Om into my heart. I feel like I want to Om into my 3rd chakra. Om into your 3rd chakra. Try and cover them all, but make it easy and free flowing. And do some Navi, right? Mahamudra, Om Japa, Navi. Do those 3 things. The Navi technique is in the Guardian video. So look on my channel, Guardian video. It's just a short ways down. Go through that. Do that every day. That's going to shrink your right amygdala. That's going to shrink all of the limbic material, all of the negativity in your whole life is going to shrink because of that little practice. It's magical. With that little bit of Om Japa practice, we are cleaning out ourselves. And that's very important. We want to clean and we want to integrate with the subconscious in a very, very positive way without stirring up everything all the time. We just want to clean it out, clean it out, clean it out, clean it out, allow everything to flow and allow everything to ground so we create this balance between heaven and earth. That, in a nutshell, is what I recommend when you're experiencing a lot of Kundalini. So you can put your regular meditation on pause and just do those things for a little while until you feel like you are established in balance. Now, I talk about these things and then people are like, well, I felt this energy. Should I stop everything? No, that's not what I mean. It means when it's too much. If you feel something and it's not too much, great. That's fine. Don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. You're probably grounded enough in your life that you already have that balance, in which case you don't have to worry. But some people, it's obviously, like this letter, it's obviously out of balance. And so this kind of a grounding, flowing, cleaning, integrating process is very, very necessary at that point. Kundalini is not energy. People say Kundalini energy all the time. I might even say it. It's not energy. It is intelligence and power. That's a much, much better translation of what Kundalini is. So you've got the vital airs on this level, and you have Kundalini intelligence way up on this level, right before the non-dual state. Okay, so it's much, much, much higher than simply energy. The feeling of energy in the body, it's much higher than that. It's intelligence and power. And all you have to do, see that intelligence and power with the low idle state, with the Om Japa in the chakras, that energy and power will naturally fall back to the brain from whence it came. You didn't have to push it or pry it or pull it or stimulate it, right? And that's where we get into trouble. There are all these yogic... So there's a debate. There's a big debate in the old yoga. Should we push or should we attract? And the answer from my lineage is we should attract. And when you push and when you pry and pull and yank on the Kundalini, then you get the whole cat, right? I have a scar on my forearm. And I found out when I was very young, when you pull the tail of the cat, you get the whole cat and not just the tail. And so there was a Siamese cat at my grandparents' house, and it was under the tree, and I just loved the cat, and I wanted to play with the cat, and the tail was right there, and I pulled on it, and I found out firsthand the old saying, when you pull the tail of the cat, you get the whole cat and not just the tail. Same thing with Kundalini. You think, oh, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you, Kundalini Ma, down at the base of my spine, and I have to yank on you to get you to rise. And this is totally wrong. It's totally wrong, okay? And that is how you disturb her. That is how you rile her up. And you really don't need to do this, and you really don't want to do this, because then you go down this path of having problems. What you need is to get out of the way. And how do we do that? Om Japa in the chakras. Just get it out of the way. I was talking on that video and I said, you're running it back through your room, and every time you run through, you're bumping things, right? What if you just clean out the pathway? Clean out the pathway, and then you can walk just fine. That's what you're doing for Kalima. You are getting everything out of the way through the Om Japa, through the low idle state. You're touching onto silence, and naturally you are attracting her back to the brain. That's it. That's all you need to do. She will fall naturally back to the brain. The Kundalini intelligence, which is part of you, your intelligence, will fall back to the brain. And this is the roll-up of consciousness. It's very, very natural. It even happens to the lover. The lover falls in love, gets deeply into the heart, and suddenly he's walking on cloud nine. Why does he say that? Because in the love, he has risen temporarily above all the lower troubles. And we are cleaning out the troubles in the lower chakras so that we naturally rise. So what the lover feels, the yogi feels every single meditation. That's what we're looking for. And more. We want to rise all the way back up into the brain. And all we had to do was clean out the way. That was it. No pushing, no prying, no pulling, no yanking. So somebody asked me, would you take a look at this channel? And I don't know, there's a recognition of truth when somebody says something and you're like, oh my God, this person really knows what they're talking about. And that's what I felt as soon as I just barely started watching this channel, and I thought, she knows exactly. She knows. So it's Maharishika Preeti, and I'm going to have the link below. And her program, from what I have seen on her channel a little bit, I watched a couple videos, I really liked what I saw. Her program for when the Kundalini is disturbed is, first of all, surrender. Surrender, 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 surrender. And flow with the guidance you are receiving from the higher self. And do not further disturb the Kundalini. Don't do it again. Let it flow. Get out of the way by surrender and let it flow. And so I want to show you what she's asking her students to do when they are overwhelmed with Kundalini sensations. She has them lay down on the floor in absolute surrender. And all they do there is let go, let go, let go, let go, surrender, 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 flow, 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 let go. And that's so perfect. So to a Westerner, we might look at this and, oh, we're bowing down to something. Yes, you're bowing down to the intelligence which is inside your brain. You're getting out of the way and you're learning your place within the left and the right brain. In the hierarchy of the brain, your personality is under the right brain. The right brain is the power that guides your life. The left brain is the one who executes. And if you know that, you have peace and you have fearlessness because you let go of all of your fear, because you understand there's a guidance, there's a greater power than yourself. And that is how your brain is supposed to be set up. And we're in all of our trouble because we don't understand that. And so she's teaching that, and she's also teaching grounding through the way that she talks about it. So she's not going to say exactly the same things that I say, but she's going to say it in her language. But it is absolutely perfect what she is saying. She also says, by the way, that this idea you're going to kill your ego is nuts. It's not going to work the way you think it's going to work. And all these people thinking that they're going to kill their ego are they're getting into an intellectual knot inside of their head, and they're not accomplishing the spirituality that they would like to accomplish. So for her Kundalini advice and for that ego advice, I just adore this channel. She's only got like 7,000 subscribers. So if she got another 1,000 because I recommended her, or 2 or 3, that would be beautiful. I'd love that, because this yogini knows what she's talking about, especially when it comes to Kundalini disturbances and when it comes to understanding your ego and your place in the universe. So now you have a program to deal with this from 2 perspectives, and it's really the same, but you have one language from me and you have one language from her, and I invite you to go through 10 of her videos and see what she is saying about Kundalini. Surrender, let go, surrender, let go, flow, surrender, let go, and don't disturb again. And in a very similar fashion, I am saying ground yourself, learn to flow, stop pushing, stop pulling, stop prying, stop yanking, clean, get out of the way, and integrate. And do the Mahamudra stretching, do the Navi Kriya that I recommend, and do the free-flowing Om Japa practice in the chakras. And if you can, do some of the heart rate variability resonant breathing. That's all I recommend. Just really simple, really small, and you have to flow with it. And if you feel like, oh my God, this is causing a little bit more of the disturbance for some reason, then stop and do the other things. Whichever is too much, then we stop, right? But we want to clean everything out. We want to flow. We want to ground and allow everything to come back into harmony. Your whole body, your whole system, your whole brain is based on harmony. That's why everything is two, right? You got a left side, you got a right side. You got a left brain, you got a right brain. All these things are in constant balance. And so everything is about that balance. And so we have to allow that balance to reestablish itself. And we can help it along by grounding, by surrendering, by letting go, by making it easy, by flowing, by following that intuitive guidance from within. So I hope that you love this. I hope it's very, very helpful for you when these things arise. So I hope you love this. If you did, be sure to hit that bell down below so I can see all of you next time.